Hello, everybody. It's Batman, and we have an interesting matchup today. Okay, Minato and Shisui versus Madara and Hashirama. Okay, speed versus power. Who wins? And basically, if I'm gonna be brutally honest, okay, if we all have fucking brain cells right now, obviously the fight is gonna scale more in favor with you know who. Okay, um, but regardless of that, if I'm trying to at least have fun and be more creative, you know what I mean? And at least, not be ignorant that there are possibilities that somehow, some way, Minato and Shishui could pull the W, then, it is arguable. And from there, it could actually be pretty interesting. So the first two characters we're going to talk about is going to be Minato and Shisui. So we're going to talk about Minato first. Minato, okay, is known as for the Yellow Flash or the Fourth Hokage. And basically, as just to keep it really simple, I am not going to be getting into all the feats, all the fucking, you know what I mean, like all this shit showing manga panels, so on and so forth. Like I don't got all day for that. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it very simple and brief. But we all know what Minato's capable of. Okay, he overall is a prodigy genius. Okay, he was the one that invented the Rasengan. Okay, can summon Gamabuta. Has the flying rising technique to where literally he can throw spam fucking kunais and literally teleport to anywhere they're at. Okay, and then not only that, basically if he marks you, meaning that like if he's able to touch you, it's guaranteed a GG at that point. You just basically get fucking speed blitz. You're talking about an ability that negates space and time ninjutsu, you know what I mean, and just allows you to just fucking just be there, But other than that, then he's also known for being able to utilize Sage Mode, which was later on seen in the war. And literally, I kid you not, like this guy, mind you, Naruto had to like train his ass off to perfect it. Him, not only does he summon it in like 2 seconds, but wants to technically downplay himself and say, oh, my Sage Mode is nowhere perfect, but this will do, and literally has a full-on perfect Sage look, just like Naruto, and does it in just 2 seconds, while it takes Naruto to literally stand still and gather that shit, So, like, the fact that, like, Minato, without, like, extensive training, you know what I mean, and whatnot, and just is able to pull off Sage Mode like that is absolutely insane, and it just goes to show that, like, if this character actually had time to be able to progress and really move on and get more stronger as a shinobi, he would have been a real big fucking threat, okay? Like, and then another thing is, like, him being able to utilize KCM too, okay, where he's literally using the fucking half the power of the Nine Tails just like Naruto. And remind you, like, he hasn't trained, he hasn't done nothing, whatever, and he's able to just to use that shit. And the only thing he really, like, states is, like, he's like, holy fuck, like, having the Nine Tails chakra is really a lot to deal with, like, geez, But other than that, he has no issues being able to utilize its full power, at least half, and his corresponding attacks and, combo abilities with his son, to where they're basically forming like a massive ass Rasengan with Sage Art, on top of it as well, to fight against Jubito. So you're talking about an Edo Minato with KCM2 cloak with Sage Mode stacked. And he's fighting against Jubito, and they're over here just throwing hands and whatnot. And while he has Jubito marked, okay, which is the main reason why he's, even teleporting to him and so on and so forth, it's still pretty. Sorry about that. It's still pretty fucking impressive in the fact that we're literally talking about the 10-tailed Jinchuriki, which scales way over Madara and Hashirama, by the way. And so the fact that he's even able to teleport and still, blitz and just be landing attacks on Obito and so on and so forth, or better yet, attacking through Obito's true secret orbs while he's using that as like for defense, and it's clearly showing that it's causing some damage as well, cracking it and then breaking, it's pretty fucking impressive, okay? And just with that alone, you can definitely not be able to sleep on Minato's speed. And it's pretty fucking crazy. Other than that, as for like everything we've seen so far, that's about the most you can say. The only other thing I can say about Minato is technically you could also argue that his ceiling abilities are like Nine Tails level, full power. You know what I mean? For him to be able to release the contract from Obito to Nine Tails, from him to be able to place I can't remember like all the details, and I would have to watch that fight again. But I think he also said it's something that it was like somehow, some way, like kind of nerfing Obito to a degree too. But other than that, I could be wrong. But what I do know is, if you want to like at least give him that he has like some fucking type of nine tail level ceiling abilities, and sure. And then another thing you could also put out there is when he's using I can't remember what it's called. I don't know if it's called Flying Reg and something or whatnot, but there's literally points where he'll literally use his kunai and like create this fucking space time. I apologize, yawning. Where he utilizes like a space time ninjutsu and basically can like fucking teleport full power QB bombs, or better yet, even more impressive feat as Edo, he's able to fucking teleport a fucking 10 tails full power, I would say the 10 tails didn't have the 8 and 9 tails full power in it yet, but still, like, it's the 10 tails we're talking about, and literally has 7 fucking tailed beasts in it already, and shoots a big ass fucking tail beast bomb that would basically just kill everyone. It was very, like shown and evident of that. And he just comes and saves the day, and he's just like, here, I got you all, and just teleports that shit away. Like, the fact that he has the chakra and stamina reserves to even do shit like that is just absolutely insane. And then another feat that Minato also has, and reminds you, while Edo, he's not even alive, because we all know that being alive in Edo is two different things. And you have way more of a bigger amp, and you're more powerful while you're alive, which is clearly implicated with Madara and him as an Edo. And then now there are moments where characters can be technically stronger than their alive versions when they're Edo. But most cases it's not the case. But other than that, with Minato, back with him, literally like he like connects with his son Naruto through like the Nine Tails and everything, and using his chakra alone with fuck me, man. With his chakra alone, okay, is able to teleport practically the entire fucking Shinobi Alliance, with everyone else as well, outside of the fucking, the Red Crimson barrier or whatever, and literally can just, the fact that he could even just do that is just insane. You know what I mean? Like, that's an insane fucking feat, level amount of chakra and stamina. So, when we're talking about, like, chakra and stamina and so on and so forth, like, the guy is no fucking joke, okay? And, and it's pretty fucking crazy. But other than that, that's practically what you can get with Minato. The only thing, yeah, like after this video, I might just have to fucking hit the snooze. Holy shit, with how much I'm yawning. The only thing I can say with Minato, is the one thing that he lacks, I would say, is definitely power. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying he's no slouch, you know what I mean, and whatnot, but like, yeah, he can do massive Raisengans, you know what I mean, with the and let's say, like, if we're talking about, KCM2 Minato, and he's also stacking Sage Mode, like, yeah, massive Raisengan with Sage Mode, yeah, that's gonna do a lot of fucking damage, you know what I mean? Now, if you were to say, like, arguably whether or not that could be enough to fucking hurt against Hashirama and Madara, maybe in their base, but like, if we're talking about fucking against Madara's perfect Susanoo, or fucking against Hashirama's fucking, Sage Wood Golem, or then fucking Sage Mode Wood Golem, and then, or better yet, the fucking Sage Mode Wood fucking full power transformation, like, that's a whole other fucking thing, like, their defense is just insane. Like, we're talking about, Madara, to where he can basically withstand a full power QB bomb with just like the body, the armor of the Susanoo, not even perfect. And then you're talking about, fucking his perfect Susanoo, and yes, I do know he had the Nine Tails technically around it too, but the fact that like he is literally spamming tailed beast, okay, with Susanoo like shuriken like chakra around it, just shooting tons of them at Hashirama, and Hashirama just fucking spam punches with his wood, final wood transformation, and he's able to punch through all of it, and go blow for blow, and then just, eventually just overwhelm all the bombs and just punch right through the Susanoo. Like, we're talking about that level of fucking power and defense, and I just don't see Minato's Sage Art massive Rasengan. Like, yes, trust me, I get it. I know, it was able to, be used on Jubido, which Jubido's a 10-tailed Jinchuriki, and yes, he scales over Madara and Hashirama, yada, 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 but it wasn't fucking, like, lethal. It didn't, like, critically or seriously fucking injure him. It just, like, gave him, like, a little owie, if you really want to say, if it even caused anything, So it's like, to just say that it could just break through Madara Susanoo or fucking, so on and so forth, or break through Hashirama's wood, style jutsu, I don't know. I really, really don't think that would be the case. So the only way you could absolutely say that Minato would be, like, pretty fucking crucial, you know what I mean, is maybe if he's, like, shooting, like, a full power tail beast bomb, or if he's, like, or if he's doing, like, maybe like a massive Rasengan and a QB bomb, like, together as one or something. Like, I don't know, but like I said, with Sage Art, but that's really, really fucking stretching. There's no really good way to quantify that unless you were to, like, look at all the feats of massive Rasengan, or, and then on top of it, basically what Sage was capable of, and, the amp with the, half the power of the Nine Tails on top of it, like, and if you would like to try to really, really try to investigate on that and dive into it, sure, but, like, I don't know, man. It's kind of hard to say. Like, it's the problem. Like I said, the problem with Minato is he's not heavily emphasized with power. He's emphasized with speed. Okay, and it's not like he knows the Rising Shuriken. You know what I mean? Like, if he knew the Rising Shuriken, fucking for sure, yeah, you could definitely argue, because the Rising Shuriken is like a whole other fucking level. Like, there's even feats where it literally states that when Naruto learns the Rising Shuriken, that's when he's kind of getting equivalent to Minato's level of power. Okay, not speed, but power. Okay, and the fact that it's, like, emphasizing on that is a big deal. Okay, and when KCM Naruto is able to dodge the Raikages, full power fucking, like, blitz or whatnot, that was indicating that he finally surpassed him in speed. Okay, and remind you, we're talking about a Raikage that has had plenty of years of training and fought against a weaker version of Minato while he was a Jonin level speed. Okay, if you compare Jonin level Minato to Hokage level Minato, it's a big difference. Okay, but anyways, so, like, the fact that with all that, and whatnot, like, that's also saying something, so, like, sure, like, if we're talking about a Minato with a KCM1 amp, or not KCM1, a KCM2 amp with Sage Mode stacked and using, like, a fucking Rising Shuriken, or better yet, a QB Bomb Rising Shuriken, you know what I mean, or a Sage Art Rising Shuriken, or better yet, the full fucking Nine-Tail transformation that he did with Naruto, and just, having, like, the two Shurikens, kind of like what Naruto did in the fight against Sasuke. One's like a QB Rising Shuriken, the other is like a Sage Art Rising Shuriken. Sure, like, yeah, sure, if you want to argue that maybe that would be enough to fucking, cause some good damage, or fight against, Madara and Hashirama, then maybe. But once again, I'm referring to fucking technically the weakest versions of Hashirama and Madara, which would be the Valley of the End. If we're talking about fucking, or better yet, like, if we're talking about, like, Madara when he has, like, the Rinnegan and fucking Hashirama cells, that's with that amp itself, meaning that he can also utilize wood style and self-heal and so on and so forth, like, it's just looking even more bad and looking even more worse for, Minato and Shisui, period, so, like, basically, the versions that I'm even referring to that would give, Shisui or Minato any fucking hope of a chance to even beat them, okay, is, the Valley of the End version. So meaning that Hashirama still is going to be no fucking joke. Like, that guy is going to be no goddamn joke. But at least for Madara, you can say that arguably he doesn't have the Hashirama cell amp, and he doesn't have, what's it called, the Rinnegan amp as well, with all those abilities and etc. So technically, you know what I mean, like, like, come on, like, it helps. It definitely does help. Okay, I would definitely say Rinnegan Madara with Hashirama cells and wood style and healing and whatnot is definitely would be more powerful than just regular EMS Nine Tails Madara. So. Anyways, and another thing to also put into consideration, guys, is obviously they wouldn't be the Nine Tails right now. What's it called? Because half the Nine Tails would be in Minato, so meaning, let's just say fucking, whatever, and I don't know. It would just be weird to give Madara a full power Nine Tails while Minato has KCM, or half the Nine Tails in him already. Like, that's just weird. But I don't know. But anyways, so like that's Minato. The only thing Minato really has going for him is his speed alone. You know what I mean? That definitely you can argue is he's just way more faster than fucking Hashirama and Madara. Like, without a fucking doubt. Without a doubt. You know what I mean? Like, especially if we're giving him literally half the power of the Nine Tails. Like, we already just know how fucking fast he is in just his base. And then with the fucking QB Cloak and Sage Mode stacked, like, yeah, this motherfucker is going to be no joke in terms of speed, okay? We're talking about, fucking where he's able to have, like, fucking 10-tail Jubido reaction. Or not Jubido, Madara, reaction time. Like, it's fucking insane, okay? And so on and so forth. But, so yeah, you can definitely say that he's definitely more faster. The only thing Minato would have going for him is if he is somehow, some way able to mark Hashirama or Madara, and if he can definitely mark both of them, okay? You know what I mean? While he's just like throwing his kunais, teleporting, like slamming, like a fucking Rising Gun or whatever on them, or I don't know, fucking, or just, just touching them, whatever. Sure, if he has a mark on either one of them, that's definitely going to be an absolutely critical element to the fight. And he could definitely be able to do some pretty badass combos with Shisui, so on and so forth, and etc. But we're going to dive into Shisui, okay? Shisui, we all know who Shisui is. He's pretty much a badass Uchiha. He was technically claimed as the strongest. You could argue that maybe Fugaku was more powerful than him, but there's really not too much, to be said on Fugaku. The only thing that was ever really shown is that apparently he also has MS as well. But other than that, Shisui was technically titled as the strongest during his time. Itachi was definitely up there with him, but I would say he was more likely still stronger than him. And not only that, Shisui was also known for, like, Shisui the fucking teleporter, and that's a big deal. You know what I mean? The fact that he has that nickname and he's known around the entire world, nations, and etc., for just his speed alone and not just even heavily winked from, like, his genjutsu or, mind fucking hacks, okay? It's a pretty big deal, okay? And, the fact that, like, he's around and whatnot and literally is just, like, he can move so fucking fast to where not only he's gone before you even fucking know it, or better yet, he can create after images that can literally physically harm you, okay, and can't be touched because they just have no mass and so on and so forth. And he's just moving so fucking quick, it's just insane, and then you're talking about, with, just his intelligence and so on and so forth. Like, he's no fucking slouch, he's pretty fucking fast, okay? And the fact that he could do that is pretty insane. And I'm going to be honest with you, like, Hashirama and Madara, they're not known for their speed. You know what I mean? Like, they're not known to be creating after images or fucking, or doing some Minato level shit and so on and so forth. Like, that's not what they're wanked on. That's not what they're praised for and so on and so forth. Like, instead, they're just mainly known for their power itself and the fact that it's on a whole other fucking caliber in comparison to everyone in Naruto. So, like, Shisui, he's definitely pretty fucking great when it comes to speed alone. And then not only that, if Minato also was to do like a fucking 200 IQ moment, he could easily pass on the Nine Tails chakra on top of him. We've seen what just with the half the power of the Nine Tails is capable of doing, and imagine him getting a QB cloak while using his speed as well. Like, that's a pretty big fucking deal as well. So this guy, he's gonna be pretty fucking fast, okay? And it'll definitely be really interesting. So yeah, that's what you got for Shisui and speed. Now, for when it comes for attacks, that's the fucking problem, okay? he doesn't have no Rasengan. He doesn't have no Shidori. He doesn't have no, like that's one of the, once again, like one of the, like, they're so fucking fast, and which allows them to either just assassinate people one shot or whatever, yada yada. But if they're going against an opponent that either has crazy ass durability or defenses, it's like, what do they do now? Like, unless their speed can be able to triumph them before they can activate their defense or their or crazy ass durability, jutsus or whatnot or whatever. Like, it's like, what do they do? So it's like, like, if you think Shisui could fucking, speed blitz and be fast enough to kill Hashirama and Madara before they can even fucking blink and use their Susanoo or wood transformation or whatever, then sure, yeah, like, Hashirama would more than likely still be in the picture, but Madara would be dead and that's it, but it's like, that's really, really fucking reaching. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I would definitely say he's more likely faster, but I wouldn't say he's fast enough to fucking blitz them before they can activate their defenses. I don't know. Like, you could argue it, but it's like, it's really, it's just really hard to say. And at the end of the day, with the scaling and whatnot and etc., it's gonna more than likely favor in Hashirama and Madara to begin with. That's just my take with his speed. Now, in my opinion, this is what I think would more than likely give him a fucking win condition. Okay, in my opinion, okay, is the fact that if Minato gives him one of his kunais, okay, that's also going to help to be able to, allow good combo attacks, good movement, and to this way, if Minato needs to teleport to Shisui, he can do that, to help or whatever and whatnot. But another thing is, or better yet, if Minato also marks Shisui to where he can teleport to him even faster, and and they can just do some pretty cool fucking attacks and whatnot. But like, another thing that would be really cool, or not cool, but what is actually a big deal with Shisui, in my opinion, what makes him just actually a fucking threat and and whatnot, is his fucking MS ability. Yeah, his Genjutsu, and Sharingan is pretty no joke as well. He's known for that, but like, his MS is what's the fucking problem. For one, literally, you're talking about Kodomatsuratsu. If I probably did not even fucking say that right, but whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. And literally, you're talking about an ability that can not only affect like a shit ton of fucking people, like just a crazy amount of people range-wise and etc., or be just used on one person, to where it can literally control someone without them even knowing that they're being controlled. To meaning that they're basically, their actions and so on and so forth is literally basically being portrayed as if they're just doing it of more of like free will and just like full on actual intent, and they have no idea they're being manipulated. And not only that, their chakra levels are fucking basically like okay and whatnot too, like to where you wouldn't really know they're like being kind of controlled and whatnot. Like, it's a broken ass genjutsu, okay? And the fact that it can be used, and basically it doesn't matter, like, like, you don't even have to look him in the eyes and whatnot. You're just that's it, you're in it, and the fact that he can do that is a possible win condition, okay? Once again, you can argue and so on and so forth and be like, oh no, he can't do that or whatever, blah blah, or this or that and whatnot. But like, the fact that it's been shown and the fact that he more likely possibly can, okay, it never does Naruto indicate that that if you have a certain amount of fucking power or more chakra reserves or whatever, that hacks just can't work on you. Like, Naruto never really establishes that. You know what I mean? If you have hack abilities, it doesn't matter how fucking powerful you are. If you can basically land it on them or whatnot, then you can more likely pull in a W. And Naruto has shown emphasis on that, with either teamwork, conditions, or, and so on and so forth, or if you just have a broken ass fucking ability, But other than that, so if, this is a potential win condition, and I'll go more into that as well, but like, the fact that he does have some pretty fucking powerful genjutsu, if he's able to do that to either Madara or Hashirama, that's going to be a big fucking deal. Then you're talking about Hashirama or Madara fighting. Now it's three of them. Now you got like Shisui, Minato, and Hashirama versus Madara, or which in my opinion would be the smarter thing to go about it. Because if we're really going to be honest, technically Hashirama is more stronger. So technically the better route would be to control Hashirama, okay, with that. instead of Madara, or better yet, it would just be Madara, Shisui, and now you got fucking Minato as well against Hashirama, and and that's that too. So, with all that being said, and so on and so forth, like, I don't know, like, fucking, that's definitely could be potentially a win condition, and I'll elaborate more on that as well. But that's going to be it for Shisui. The only other thing he has, which, you can debate whether he has it or not, in the anime, in the video games, and even in, like, I think one of the light novels, he also has Susanoo as well, to where you can use the body version and whatnot. And then he also, in the video game, like, event as well, with, like, his awakening, he could also use perfect Susanoo. So whether or not you want to say he has perfect Susanoo or not, or just regular Susanoo, like, sure, whatever. But if this guy does have perfect Susanoo, then, it's kind of hard to fucking, say if his would be the same as Madara's or not. But then again, like, if you look at Sasuke, he had the same. He also was able to get a perfect Susanoo. And the only reason why Sasuke's was even stronger to begin with was because, for one, he had 6 paths chakra, and 2, he also had access to all the tailed beasts. So it's kind of hard to fucking, just say that, like, someone's perfect Susanoo could just automatically be, by default stronger than the other. It's really, really hard to dictate that, because there's only 2 people that have fucking even gotten to the perfect Susanoo. You know what I mean? In the anime or the manga. So, like, since this is video games that we're talking about, and also in one of the light novels, I think it was like a Naruto book or whatever, it's really, really fucking hard, So, sure, if you want to say that if Shisui has perfect Susanoo, then bam, now he has perfect Susanoo, now he's on par with Madara. Sure, then we're really talking about now giving Shisui fucking a pretty good amount of power, okay? And then with him having that power itself, okay? Fucking shit, if we're really talking that, then Minato can just summon his frog, put the fucking Susanoo around the frog, and now you got a fucking Gamabuto with perfect Susanoo around it, like, sure, whatever. Or fucking Minato can use his teleportation hack, so on and so forth, and use and combo that shit with his perfect Susanoo. Sure, whatever, But like I said, that's really stretching, and it's not like it fucking completely changes anything, Like, once again, like, you're talking about 2 people that are literally known for being power itself, the gods of shinobi of their era and time, okay? So, I don't know. I would still more likely just give that to Madara and Hashirama. But anyways, we're going to talk about Hashirama, and these are going to be really short. We already know what fucking Madara and Hashirama can do, okay? Hashirama, he's a fucking beast. The guy is insane. Like, his wood style is just insane, especially his wood deep, force emergence or whatever, or the fucking gas shit that he can do with it as well, that kind of just one-shots you and kills you if you breathe it in and whatnot, or you're in it. Then you have fucking, his wood style that can literally contend with QB level threats. He can fucking instantly seal QB level threats effortlessly. He can transform into his wood golem to be able to fight Madara's perfect Susanoo. Then use Sage Mode as well. And then stacking Sage Mode on top of his wood golem. Then going into his full-on out fucking wood transformation with Sage Mode. Like, the guy is just fucking insane. Insane. And when it comes to power. And not only that, he's clearly fast enough, to be able to fight with Madara while he has, the EMS and so on and so forth. Like, he's no fucking joke. And then what also makes Hashirama really fucking scary, okay? And reminds you, like, if Minato and Shisui don't have intel on Madara and Hashirama, this can be really fucking scary, because his wood clones, you can't fucking distinguish it. Like, it is literally stated that his wood clones are so fucking perfect that there's no way to know if that's the real version or not. So the fact that he can also use a wood clone that basically, like, copies him, like, perfectly, like, and gives him a freebie, like, is insane. And it's a big deal. It's what gave him the W in the end during the fight against Madara to begin with, because that fucking wood clone is just so crazy, But regardless, like, that's basically Hashirama, in a nutshell. He could also summon, like, 4 fucking, shield things that are allowed, to, like, obviously didn't stop. Obviously that didn't stop the full power 9 Tails Kyuubi Bomb, but it fucking at least caused it to change the, trajectory of it, to where it went off somewhere else, and, instead of going where it would have originally, so that's a big deal. And then another thing too is him having like I can't remember what they're called, but something gates to where literally it was able to fucking pin down a 10-tailed fucking Jinchuriki, bro. Or even the 10-tailed beast. Like, that's fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Now, I don't think that it would be fast enough to hit maybe, Shisui or Minato, or definitely not Minato, but like the fact that, it was able to hit the Jubito, and the 10 tails and pin them down as well is pretty fucking crazy ass feat, okay? And that's basically Hashirama in a sense. And then not only that, we already know fucking Hashirama, like with his Sage Jutsu and whatnot. Like Sage Jutsu is a big ass fucking amp, and definitely can say that Hashirama Sage Mode was the most powerful out of all. But like his Sage Mode is fucking crazy, and having Sage Mode is a big deal as well. And Shisui doesn't have fucking Sage Mode. The only one that has Sage Mode is Minato, so meaning that like really to even give it any form or of a chance of having a fair shot, Minato would have to be combating against Hashirama. And the only thing Shisui would even do if he was forced to fight Hashirama with Sage Mode, he could not be able to contend with him in bases. Like, he would have to either utilize his Genjutsu, okay, or use his body flicker technique, create after images, whatnot, whatever, and just, and be more on the defense, okay? But other than that, what's it called? That's Hashirama. And then you have Madara. You know what Madara is really capable of. He's a fucking genius, intelligent, tactical prognition. He's really fucking no joke with that stuff. Basically knows every fucking jutsu you can even think of. He's practically extremely knowledgeable with what everyone can do, or, at least everything that's out there in the world, when you're talking about Kenkai Genkais or Bloodline Limits and so on and so forth, okay? So he has very good self-awareness and good knowledge of everything that's around jutsu-wise and etc. And, his taijutsu is fucking insane. We've seen what that's capable of. His ninjutsu, his fire-style ninjutsu is fucking crazy. Then he has, like, his Susanoo, which is no fucking joke. Then he can do fucking clones of himself that can also utilize Susanoo and so on and so forth. And then he also has fucking the perfect Susanoo, which we all know that itself is just... It's just crazy. It's fucking crazy. And if we're really being honest, we've seen what he could do with the Nine Tails. Okay, imagine him fucking wrapping his goddamn Susanoo around Hashirama's fucking wood golem or full on out wood transformation. Like, bro, like just imagine that. Like, it's like, what the, like Minato and Shisui, basically, Shisui would more likely just be dead. He would just be dead, and Minato would be like, all right, Shisui, we definitely lost this one. I'm out of here. Bye. And teleports and leaves. Like, and that's it. That's just basically how that fight goes, But, like, that's basically Madara in a nutshell, and it's just that simple. So, we're going to talk about the win conditions for Madara and Hashirama first. It's just a lot more easier, and it's a lot more obvious and concrete. Power itself, they just get overwhelmed. They're not able to outlast them because of how much stamina and chakra they have. Or better yet, they just get absolutely demolished when it comes to power itself, especially if they're able to activate, their full-on power, which is, either wood transformation or Madara utilizing his Susanoo. And it's basically, just be a guaranteed win condition. You can definitely argue and say, like, oh, if they get into that, why not? Or for fucking absolute certainty, if literally Madara and Hashirama, okay, stack their fucking wood transformation and with Susanoo over that, I don't give a fuck. Well, what the fuck do you do against a Sage Mode, okay, wood transformation, Susanoo wrapped around it? Like, good fucking luck. You know what I mean? Like, shit, like that's some fucking shit, bro. Like, I don't know, that's some shit that you could definitely probably say, like, can maybe even contend with the 10 tails. That's the level of fucking power we're talking about right now, So, I don't know, what I mean? It's really, really hard to fucking gauge and just, but that shit's just crazy. And that's the obvious win condition right there and then. Second win condition, Madara uses Uzugani or whatever, and yada, whatever, and he just comes back, kills him. Or Hashirama uses a wood clone, and that whole fucking time while they thought they were fighting the real deal, Madara's fine because he had his freebie, but lost, like, one of his eyes now because of it. And then Hashirama only used a wood clone, and he's still there, and they're like, what, you thought this fight was done? And then guess what? They're dead. That's the second win condition. Third win condition that I will can also say as well, if Madara even gets Minato or fucking Shisui in Genjutsu, it's over. I don't give a fuck. It's just there's GG, that's it. Um, if I'm trying to think any other way. If Minato and Shisui get tagged by Hashirama's fucking like gate type jutsu, they're not getting up from that. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Unless Minato can just like teleport, you know what I mean, and that just negates it for some reason. Sure, but like if that happens, like yeah, good luck. They're not 10 tail level. And that's basically all that. So those are just the obvious, absolute certainty win conditions. And like I said, it more than likely favors in them to begin with. So the fact that like, like we're even talking about this, like it's clear as day. It's more likely how it would go. Now, if you want to give Minato and Shisui the benefit of the doubt, and you want to fucking just, really rank them pretty high, yada, 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 we're talking about, like, teamwork or combo attacks and so on and so forth, okay, I will start off with the first win condition, okay, to where basically Shisui could, this is the first one, okay, if Shisui is able to use his MS ability and control Hashirama, in my opinion, I think it's GG. I don't see Madara with just his Susanoo, okay? And even if Madara had the Rinnegan, okay? And with Hashirama's Cell Amp as well and all that, I still don't see Madara beating Hashirama with Sage Mode in his Wood style and fucking Shisui and Minato. Like, I just don't fucking see that. I don't. You know what I mean? So if that is able to happen, that's guaranteed a W. Now, if Shisui was to do it on Madara instead, like, I don't know. Like, fucking, the thing is, if he is able to do that, like, sure, now they have Madara on their team and whatnot, and they have him, but, like, you guys gotta remember, Hashirama is just way more stronger than Madara. You know what I mean? Like, his Sage Mode Wood transformation fucking shitted on his perfect Susanoo with the Nine Tails full power, transformation. So it's like the majestic Susanoo. That's what you call it. And the fact that his thing just shitted on it, like which was clearly shown in the anime, like I don't know, man. Like like maybe Hashirama still fucking solos and beats fucking all three of them regardless. You know what I mean? And that's just that. So it's like I said, you could still argue that Hashirama would be perfectly fine even if that did happen, and that he might be able to still pull off the W. That's why, like, I just lean more with Hashirama to where, like, I feel like it'd be more beneficial or absolutely more essential for him to get him instead, And hopefully Shisui don't fuck up and do it on the Wood clone, otherwise he's fucked, So, but yeah, that's definitely what I'll say with that. I do believe that would be a guaranteed win condition. Or another one, Shisui is just, buying as much time, fighting, whatever, whatnot. Maybe utilizes, like, his broken-ass Genjutsu, but it was either only a Wood clone on Hash, or better yet, it was on Madara, but he used, Izagani or whatever it's called, and he had a freebie, sure. And then while Minato's fighting the other guy, like, let's say it's Hashirama, I don't know. Hey, I'm gonna be honest. When I heard this the first time... When I heard this win condition the first time from Seth, bro, it actually had me in tears. This man literally said that if Minato, has him marked, he could basically just spam his teleportation and just keep throwing him up in the air. Like, just throwing him up in the air over and over and over and over. And then basically throw his kunai, which is, like, in space and whatnot. And then, fucking touch him, teleport, and then basically just teleport back to the planet where he has his other kunai. And then there you go. You know what I mean? Like, he literally just throws him in fucking space, and Hashirama dies, and Minato's fine because he can teleport back to the ground safely. And there you go, GG. And now it's Minato and Shisui still against Madara, and Madara's like, there's like, oh fuck, like he just tossed that man in space. Like, you're not gonna do that to me, right? And then Minato's like, your turn, bitch. Like, if he can fucking do that, like, sure, maybe. I don't know. Or better yet, like, he does that to Hash, and then Shisui just does his, crazy-ass Genjutsu and can control Madara, and then Madara is now just working with them willingly, and that's it, and there you go. And they either kill him or whatever, or he makes Madara kill himself or whatever. I don't know. Whatever, or Minato can maybe do the same thing to Madara, and that's it, And that'll just basically be that. But other than that, that'll be like the 2-win conditions for Minato and Shisui. The only other way I see them winning, okay, is if somehow, some way, and this is really, really giving them, like a lot of credit, if Shisui and Minato are fast enough to fucking kill Madara and his base before he can even turn Susanoo. And then, like I said, for Hashirama, either Shisui would just still use his Genjutsu, or Minato would just throw him in fucking space. Sure. Or if we really fucking make Minato, like, no joke, like, let's say we give him Ryzen Shuriken as well with Sage Mode, and, like, half the power of the Nine Tails, you could technically argue that if he has one of them marked and he's able to speed blitz, and he hits some with either like a fucking QB Ryzen Shuriken or Sage Art Ryzen Shuriken, or whatever, or throws both of them in general, or anything like that in that fucking caliber of an attack potency, you could definitely argue that would one-shot either Hashirama or Madara, because their base does not have any feats to support that they can be able to tank a level of that attack. No one has been able to, you know what I mean? So it's like, like, maybe, yeah, with their Susanoo would, sure, but in their base, no, they're not fucking tanking that. So, but once again, that's giving Minato, like, levels of power that he technically doesn't have, you know what I mean? Or just, and never got to. So it's like, it's kind of unfair, you know what I mean? But, like, if he has that level of power, then sure. Or definitely if he has the full fucking power of Nine Tails in him and he's going KCM mode, like, sure. You gotta remember, he's also stacking Sage Mode, like, but that's like I said, that's just making him even more powerful and whatever, But other than that, that's basically all I see with either just Minato and Shisui. Obviously, Minato's more the essential player in this fight to begin with. And the only way Shisui becomes a big fucking deal is if his Genjutsu, superior Genjutsu, can work. And just make, one of them turn on the other guy, win, and then just makes him kill himself. And there you go. Or just, better yet, they all walk off together and they live happily ever after. And Shisui's like, yeah, as long as I got this fucking eye, bro, you're my bitch, So, and that's it, So, but like I said, we already hit the 42-minute mark of this video. I was trying to keep it around 30 minutes at least, but we definitely went right over. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. You guys, let me know in the comments down below what you think. If Madara and Hashirama just absolutely fucking shit stomps on them, and just when it comes to this, with their power level itself and whatnot, or if you think Shisui and Minato speed hacks and ceiling hacks and so on and so forth can maybe pull a W, along with Minato having the Reaper Death Seal as well. And then, of course, with Shisui's like crazy ass godly fucking, MS Genjutsu. But yeah, so if like I said, just let me know in the comments below what you think would more than likely happen, so on and so forth. Other than that, like the video if you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe for more content. Subscribe if you guys love the channel. I will have, Naruto video content, out here and there. It's not going to be like on a daily basis, or it's like, or on like the same fucking capacity as Swag Kage, Seth, Six, or whatever, any other big Naruto person out there. I ain't like to that fucking extreme. I mainly send out a lot more gaming content instead, but I'll definitely try to, do a little bit of Naruto here and there. The next video I will be doing next time will be Naruto Shinobi Legends, a video, which is like basically be a video of like what we should have had instead of fucking Boruto, you know what I mean? Like, prime example, like maybe to even see the life of Kakashi's father and to see why he was so powerful and et cetera and whatnot, shit like that. So, and then who knows, maybe I could just make a series off that to where like what ifs, like to where, shit that we should either had as a story and instead of Boruto, or better yet, maybe something that would have been a really fucking cool if it actually happened instead of Boruto, So, but other than that, guys, that's going to be it for this video. If I ever get any other Naruto ideas along the way, sure, or release it, I'll give my opinion, talk about it, whatever. But other than that, that's going to be it. And as always, see you guys in the next one. Peace out.